Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm an artist from Perth, Western Australia, and I'm really glad you're here. This video is just my thoughts and ramblings, I guess, so it's a good one if you wanted to follow on and paint. This artwork that I'm working on is mixed media, lots of cutting of paper. The paper that I've got there is just a scrapbook, so the paper had already had a pattern or design on it, and I'm also using some old scraps of paper that I've got some ink splodges on, and I just kind of wanted to use lots and lots of different materials and see the way they interact with each other. It's been a long time since I've used anything with collage and glue. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about creating a cohesive body of work. I think because I've organised an art exhibition, a solo exhibition in November, and it's a long way off, but it's caused me sort of to reevaluate my style, which most people sort of say that it's quite definite, like I've got a very consistent style. However, I really do enjoy working with a diverse range of materials, and I sort of often think that in the back of my mind that if I stick to one theme or thematic thread in my work, that it'll stifle my creativity, that I need to sort of branch out. But on the other hand, there's that idea that to really create something, or to create anything of any depth, you do need some boundaries. I can give a good example, like in sci-fi novels, or really just writing a fictional story in general. Like, you really need to narrow your focus. If you're building a world, you need to have boundaries around that world, otherwise it won't kind of make sense. It's like giving the world your own gravity or its own mythology or its own characters. Like, you have to have a certain amount of boundaries with which to really dig deep and explore things. So I guess with that in mind, I'm feeling the invitation to explore things in greater detail and not see that as inhibiting my creative energy, but see it as part of it. Like, even the research that goes into exploring different ideas, that's part of the creative process for me, and really appreciating that. And I guess I can give a good example. So I really was captivated by my little, I guess, sketch journey into the forest, and it's only just the local forest. It's a really small forest, but it really got me thinking about how symbolic forests are, how they have their own ecosystem, that the trees themselves communicate with one another, and they're just a reminder of how small we are in the overall scheme of things, that there's bigger powers at work. And also, even just the forest itself as this expansive space where there's so much that we don't know. There's so much that can surprise us in a forest. There can be things that are malevolent, lurking, kind of a thing. So there's that feeling of, I guess, lack of safety, but there's also the surprise of benevolent creatures that come out. And I guess as I'm saying this, I'm thinking about fairy tales, because the forest and being lost in a forest particularly is such a common trope in fairy tales, because it really does symbolize the unconscious mind, the world that is within, and the adventure that we go on, the hero's adventure that we go on in our lives, and the things that we come across that we are not expecting to come across. I have to say, I love Crayon Resist. I love the way the ink just goes over that oil pastel, and it just makes this kind of grainy finish. It's just so much fun. Reminds me of childhood as well. We went and visited my mum at her new community that she lives in, and it's just really nice. It's so nice to have her closer to where I live. She's not very far away, and she's got these cool colouring in. She loves it. She does paint by numbers and colouring in, and it's awesome.
I haven't finished that.
What's your favourite one? They actually look really amazing.
I've only finished two.
Yeah.
Two of them. And that one's not finished. And then it's all these others.
They're gorgeous, the designs.
Yeah.
Got enough to plan the rest.
That looks nice, Fletcher. One thing that always seems to guide me when I'm feeling stuck in my art and what I'm wanting to communicate as an artist is my dreams, and it's been really concerning for me lately, I guess, because I haven't been remembering my dreams very well. I've been sort of remembering them sketchily at best, I guess. And so I've always, recorded and painted my dreams, or at least tried to depict them and just work with them for many, many years anyway. Something that I need to remember is that art has the power to unlock the unconscious. So just by creating art, especially, pieces like this that I'm working on that are unplanned and intuitive, they can access symbols the dream maker is trying to communicate. So it's just a different way of accessing the same pool. And by dream maker, that's really a term that Jungians use for the unconscious knowing part of ourselves, that it's a part of us but also separate to us, that knows us deeply, knows our lives, and has only our good in mind and wants us to be able to understand the messages that it's trying to communicate. And I believe that the dream maker is trying to communicate with us through a lot of different things, not just our dreams. So my way of understanding the dream maker and how Jung phrased it is really just like the Holy Spirit in Christian tradition, or the I think it's called the Bodhisattva in Buddhism, the Tao in Taoism, like that inner voice that is all wise and loving that we have within us. And so that to me is what we're accessing with the dream maker. And I'm just going to give you like a quote from a book called Dreamwise and a chapter called Meet the Dream Maker. And this was written by a group of Jungian analysts that have got a channel on YouTube called This Jungian Life. And I'm part of their, year-long dream school, which has been amazing. So I get to sort of take part in all of their offerings, all of their classes and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to share this quote, and I'm just encouraging myself here really with this to just continue with my art and to continue with my quest in understanding. So it says, each of us has a mysterious other within who observes our lives and shares its perspective each night. The dream maker is our autonomous, unfaltering companion, offering insights that enlarge understanding and guide us towards the mysterious process of unfolding that Jung termed individuation. The life-enriching wisdom of dreams exists in everyone. We just need to learn how to access it. If you're in the habit of journaling using art, like looking back over it later, even just a week or two later, gives fresh eyes and you can see the unconscious at work. Like sometimes I'm amazed at the messages that are hidden in artwork, and yeah, just a little bit of time between it, these hidden messages really want to be found, and it's really good. It's a really good record. It's bringing the invisible into the visible realms for us. So it really is an anchor and a guide. Thanks so much for watching. This video was a bit of a ramble. I guess I was probably trying to encourage myself in a way and hoping that I would encourage you guys as well in the process. And as always, keep creating, and I just hope you have a lovely day and see you next time. Bye!